Hi, this is Kristy Robinett of TangledWitches.com. I hope you're doing great. Today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about a problem that I'm having. I am, as most of you know, a professional psychic medium, and I'm also a paranormal investigator. And what does that paranormal investigation piece of it mean? It means that I clean houses of spirits and ghosts. And there is a difference between a spirit and a ghost. A spirit is somebody who has crossed over and they come back to make their presence known. So it could be grandma and grandpa, mom, dad, what have you, who just wants to offer a message to you. And sometimes they hang around, longer than what they should, so you have to ask them to leave. A ghost is someone who has not crossed over and still has issues that they need to resolve. And sometimes they can't resolve them with the people that they need to because they could have already passed away, but they're missing them on the other side because they have not crossed to the other side to go see them. So what they end up doing is they hang around other people. And most of the time, they want to hang around people that are paying attention to them. So it's sort of like a kindergartner going, Mommy, 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 do you see me? Do you hear me? Do you see me? I'm throwing things at you. Do you see me? And that's because they need help. And I think that part of what our goal, our role of being a paranormal investigator is to help these ghosts cross over to the other side. So what's my problem then? Well, the last few months, we've had some interesting things happen in our home, and I have a feeling that I have somebody's ghost. I do lots of investigations and I do everything properly so that when I have them cross over, I seal everything off so that they don't come back through and they don't follow me. But once in a great while, if you're visiting a cemetery or even just walking by, you might end up having a ghost that latches on to you. And I think that that might have been what happened. The irony of it all is even though I do see dead people, I don't see this ghost because for whatever reason, it doesn't seem to do anything when I'm here. So it obviously is trying to avoid me and still live within the home. And what can happen with it still being in the home is that can oppress people. It can make people depressed and sad and moody and what have you. So what do I do? This is just a Cliff Notes version of what I do to clean yourself of a spirit. You don't need to have a whole big paranormal investigation. You want to be careful though when you work with the other side. So I'm not telling you to do this, go to your neighbor's house and say, "Hey, can I cleanse your house of a ghost?" You want to be careful and follow certain practices. But one of the things that I do is I burn cedar. And cedar is something that clears the home of the ghost of any negative energy. And then you want to burn sage. And this is white sage. This is what I prefer. It's also a Native American ritual that they do, and it's called smudging. And you can buy it in this form, or you can buy it in the baggy form here. And I actually have a really funny story with that. Just completely off subject, but well, kind of not. I ended up getting stopped by a police officer a few months back because they said that I didn't stop in back of the cautionary line far enough. And he pulled me over and I was so confused and he asked if he could see my registration and I keep it in my glove compartment, which I know you're not supposed to, but I told him, I'm like, "Can I get into my glove compartment?" And he said, "Yeah, absolutely." Just didn't want him to pull a gun out on me or anything. So I leaned over and I opened the glove compartment and out falls a bag of sage. So it looks a little bit suspicious and it smells a little bit suspicious. So he ended up giving me a really strange look and I took it and I grabbed it and I showed it to him and I said, "No, no, no, this is just white sage. I use it to get rid of ghosts." And he's like, "Okay." And he took it with him and he never gave it back to me. So it was just kind of funny. So what you do is you light the sage and you want to make sure that you have a container to put it in and you blow the smoke out, the flame out, and it'll smoke like that. And the more dark smoke that you see, the more negative energy there is, or the more that it smokes like it's smoking, the more negative energy that you're going to have in the home that you need to get rid of. So you want to go from the farthest place in your house, and I like to work from the bottom up, and then the up down. So I push the spirits up, and then I push them back, and I cleanse the first floor, and then I push it all the way out the door. And as you can tell, it's still smoking. So I'll just set it here. It gives a nice effect, right? So I end up doing that, and then you want to make sure that you open a door or a window after you go through the entire house, and you say a prayer of some sort, such as I believe in God, so I ask that God come and protect me, that the Holy Spirit comes and puts white light around this home, and that any negative energy must leave this home, and only positive energy is allowed to enter. If there's any spirits around, like guides, ascended masters, or loved ones that are of the positive, they are allowed to stay. A lot of times people don't want to get rid of their ghosts. It's unfair for that, and I think that they misinterpret the ghost from the spirit thing because they think that they're kicking grandma out of their home, and that's not the case. So you want to just make sure that you go through that, and then you just let it burn out, or I like to let it burn out, and you might have to do it again the next day. Some investigators will tell you that you're going to get some, crazy things that happen, but you only will get that if you have not opened the door or a window and whooshed it out. Otherwise, you will get some crazy things that happen. It'll stir things up. So it's pretty much like taking your rug, your area rug, and shaking it as hard as you can, and all the dust is going to fly everywhere instead of going outside and shaking your rug out. So that's one thing that I think that a lot of investigators do wrong when they cleanse a house. So hopefully my ghostie will go to the other side, and I will be able to help my ghostie, because it's turning on my stove, and it's throwing things, and it's doing some things that are dangerous, that completely go against a safety, and light bulbs are popping, and typical things like that. If you want to hear about more about some ghost stories or paranormal investigations that I've done, check out Ghosts of Southeast Michigan, and it's available on Amazon. Have a great day.